guys, and today we're talking about the Catalyst Machine Works Whoopmaster. Catalyst Machine Works has been one of the premier frame designers. They're popular racing and freestyle frames, but the last few years they've probably been most well known for their money shot line of cinematic flyers. One of the first frames that could carry a full red Komodo. When you think about wanting to fly a drone, it seems like half of the people get on the market because they want to use something like this, the Insta360 ONE RS, or possibly a GoPro camera to get very nice footage. And while they have been accommodating those people that fly on a movie set, what about the rest of us that may want a little bit more performance? Now, the market is pretty much already taken care of for those that really want to go slow and precise. Indoors, there's a lot of very small options, and it's hard to ignore the best all-around option, which is the Slam Squirt 2. But what if you want to hold a little bit more gear than just a single camera? What if you want to go a little bit faster? And what if you want something that's more of a production tool? That's where the Whoopmaster line comes in. Now, this is the 4-inch. Now, most cinewhoops carry a 2.5 to 3-inch prop. Neil over at Catalyst put his thinking cap on and designed a solution that will allow you to carry more of a payload, travel faster than you could before on other cinewhoops, but still have the protection without the negative flight repercussions. You see, these are guards. These are not ducks. A duck gives you a very distinct flight feel, but when you try to go fast or try to descend quickly, you can get a lot of very adverse flight maneuvers that pretty much wreck your footage. What they've done is scaled everything up, allowed you to use a full-size motor. These are 2207.5 motors I have installed on here. You can run it with a 4-inch blade or a 3.5-inch blade. And the cool thing about it is you can have two cameras. By having all this extra power, you can now carry a camera on the front and one on the back, pointing backwards. That means if you were to pass up a bike rider or a runner or a vehicle, you could get them in the front camera as you approach, and then as you pass, you can get them in the rear camera for some really dynamic action shots. A lot of times when you're not on a movie set and you need to get those angles on an action shot, you don't have multiple takes in order to keep doing it over and over and over again. So being able to carry two cameras at once is really a game changer.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'll tell you what I'd do, man. Two cameras at the same time, man.
And that's where the Whoopmaster comes in. It's also notable that they have a scaled up version of this that just released a 6-inch Whoopmaster that can carry one of those aforementioned larger cinema cameras.
I really like Komodo.
Their full-size money shot cameras usually have 8 props on board, and the V2 has 6. That allows you to have some redundancy if you're really doing some powerful action shots. But what if you want to fly more like a cinewhoop, and the only difference is that you want to have that better camera quality on board, like the red Komodo for instance? Then you may not need the redundancy and scaled up version of that. If you just want to fly it the way that a cinewhoop would, but have the camera quality of a cinema camera, then this Whoopmaster 6-inch version, the big brother to this, could be your answer. So we're going to take this on a racetrack and see how much faster this thing can move than a traditional cinewhoop. And it's quite impressive, guys. Having all of that power on tap means that for those of us that are used to flying racing quads or freestyle quads, you don't have to adjust your flight style as much as you would on a regular cinewhoop. If you are a camera guy, you know that there is no best lens. And in that same way, there is no best cinewhoop. There is the right tool for the right job to get the right shot. If you want something that can go really, really slowly indoors, then you want something even smaller with a naked GoPro. That's kind of like your ultra wide angle lens. If you want something that can move faster, carry a bigger 2-camera payload, then you want something like this. This is like your long end range lens. This is like a really nice 70 to 200 2.8 lens. And if you want something that is kind of decent at both, that's where you would have a Slam Squirt 2. So it's really cool that you can have all these options. Don't think of it about, is this the best one? It's all about what kind of footage you want to get, what kind of shot you want, and what kind of tools you want to have in your arsenal in order to get the shots that you want to accomplish.
As I'm building this up, you can really start to see the difference in the size of the ducts and the props and the motors compared to Slammed Squirt 2 that I have right here. And this is actually a duct from a Cinesplorer. So you can see that both of these 3-inch ducts are pretty much the same, but once you go to 4-inch, here is how I have built up my Whoopmaster. I have the Mamba MK3 20x20 6S stack right here, the Cadex Vista with the Nebula Pro all the way at the front. I have the Crossfire receiver right here, power leads going to this very nice anchored on the top plate right here. I have my GoPro mount at the front. I'm going to be adding an additional GoPro mount at the rear. I have this rear mounted antenna right here. You can also use an SMA style antenna and put it right here as well. Now the design actually allows you to stack the Vista like directly on top right here in this little sunken tray, but I kind of would rather have it totally separate from the plate and just have it like, there's so much space right here, so I prefer to just do it like this. Plenty of room for my capacitor, and I may even add an LED. I really like, compared to a lot of the other cinewhoop options, how you have full camera protection right here, you have 100% full motor protection right here. You can see I did leave these wires very long, and I just kind of bundled them up. That's because I may be testing out different motor options for this, so I wanted to leave them long enough if I decide to use this on a 5-inch build instead. These are quite punchy motors, and the nice thing about this Whoopmaster is that the motors are 100% protected, so there's no way they're going to get scuffed up in the least.
Damn straight. I always wanted to do that, man.
There's a plane going over there, guys, so we're just gonna pause talking for just a minute. It's wrecking my audio right now, guys. Sorry about that. We're gonna pause. We're gonna keep pausing. We're gonna keep pausing.